important is the steakhouse. The specialty of the room is the porterhouse steak.
See how we press that meat? See, all the fat goes right in there.
Seafood selections, starting off with our live Maine lobsters.
Sexy, sexy, sexy.
Fresh steamed asparagus or broccoli.
America is in an epidemic of overweight and obesity.
People basically are about to the point where they figure everything's bad for them, unless it's like, sprouts and tofu.
That is not funny, it's serious.
Folks, that is all you have to remember.
This week, CNN presents Food to Die For.
We have cut cholesterol, trimmed fat grams, overdosed on oat bran. We're gorging on Slim Fast, dealing our meals, and mastering our thighs. So why is America still gaining weight? Welcome to CNN Presents. I'm Judy Woodruff. We graze from food fad to food fad like scavenging diners at an all-you-can-eat buffet. The U.S. diet industry now consumes up to $50 billion a year in profits. The problem is, more and more of us who are watching our weight are watching it grow. As we get ready for America's Gala of Gluttony, Thanksgiving, CNN's food and health correspondent CAROLYN O'Neill looks at our obsession with food to die for.
Every day, eat bread and butter, milk and cheese, meat and eggs, for it takes 5 fingers to point the way to healthful eating habits. And Ralph goes over them in his mind.
It used to be so simple.
He found that eating had become fun.
I tried a lot of other diets.
About cholesterol,
monosodium glutamate.
Spinach juice. And lose 20 pounds.
Concentrated nutrients.
Eat grapefruit.
Nowadays, it seems the constant barrage of information about diet and nutrition is forcing us to approach our meals as minefields. More than ever, eating anything is scary and confusing, and we're obsessed with food.
The TV Food Network is TV.
Never before has there been such a bountiful selection of healthful foods in supermarkets across the USA. Produce sections are getting bigger and better, and there's been an explosion of new food products from mayonnaise to muffins that are light, low-fat, low-calorie, or fat-free. But ironically, at the same time, never before have there been so many overweight Americans. This man is seeking truth about America's eating habits.
Chocolates, pizza containers, fast foods.
And he's looking for it in your garbage.
The trash tells the truth. It's a king-size Reese's cup, and then of course a container of chocolate milk. These are the kinds of things that people won't usually admit to. We will find them in the trash, but again, it's a clear indicator that people are, fudging, so to speak, on their nutritional practices. I think if we come into this area over here, there's
Ruben Mendoza is an anthropologist, and he's come to this Denver area landfill to analyze America's nutritional psyche.
Yeah. I've walked in landfills for many years.
So this kind of characterizes the schizophrenia that's going on in America right now, doesn't it?
Yes, very much so, because we have the Slim Fast container suggesting this person is dieting, trying to lose weight, trying to be healthy. On the other hand, they're eating potato chips.
This isn't just a bunch of garbage. To an anthropologist, these are artifacts, clues to help put together stories about people's lives. And in the trash, there's a lot of truth to be found about what people are eating. Here's a half gallon of ice cream, completely finished, or clues about what people are not eating. So you say you take your vitamins. I don't think so.
Okay, the point of today is to give you an orientation to the Denver Garbage Project. I'd like you all to grab some gloves. I've got some of the trash samples are relatively ripe. Each of you grab a tub. Those of you that want to protect your clothing, because there is a splash factor to some extent.
At the University of Colorado, Dr. Mendoza's garbology class is about to embark on a study of our dietary delusions.
But that bagel had American cheese. Yes, this bagel did have American cheese, and it looks like they had nuts with it.
Tea. Oh, someone's chew. Nice.
Look at that. Looks soiled crackers.
Most of the material there, if you were to give it a superficial glance, would look like these people are eating garbage. and yet they're practicing what we would construe as a healthy behavior, going to the gym and working out. So in the course of this study, you will be studying families and individuals who will tell you one thing, but will be doing another based on their trash.
Okay, what we have are so far 4 fast food restaurants represented. You've got Wendy's, Arby's, we've got some Taco Bell here, and then Kentucky Fried Chicken.
John Church is one of Dr. Mendoza's diet detectives, and he's investigating this man's family.
We want to begin this service right by giving attention to God.
These people are the pastor and the pastor's wife of the church that I go to. Must like that. That's all gone. The first bag I went through, it had set for a few days before I got to it. And so we have some green beans here. It was horrible. Things were mildewing and the smell was, it almost made me lose my cookies. But once you get past that, it's interesting.
Uh-oh. Did this break off?
Lee and Jeff Pies and their son Jordan are sacrificing their garbage to science.
It looks like they had a bad week.
See?
It looks like there's a predominance of fast food material, popcorn, hot dogs. You have an occasional apple, instant oatmeals. It looks like this is a family on the run. A family just like most typical American families. Both parents are working, and so what you have is a lot of fast food. The impressions or the interpretations that family has about its own behavior in terms of nutrition is going to be critical towards the final assessment here.
Lee's good for me. She has to remind me. Let's watch his candy intake.
Snacks for the child, a lot of the gummy snacks.
Cancer runs in my family, so my mom's always telling me get beta carotene, and she's more. I think she's a lot more concerned about my diet than I am.
Okay, got some oatmeal. That's a good thing.
Like, see, I'm putting this broccoli and cauliflower in the chicken, and I know he doesn't particularly like that, but, peace might sneak in.
We do have a corn cob, and you would think that's nutritious, except it has a stick still on it. So that would suggest that they probably picked this up, again, in a fast food context.
I think my mom has good confidence in my wife, in Lee, her ability to cook. She's really thrilled that Lee stresses vegetables, fruits, the skinless chicken breasts.
Probably have a cheeseburger here.
Virtually everything here is processed.
Coconut cakes.
Other than for the apple and...
the apple which isn't eaten.
Yeah, the apple hasn't been eaten, so...
As is often the case with Dr. Mendoza's garbology studies, Lee and Jeff believe they are eating a light diet, when in fact their trash tells a heftier story.
Because their nutritional habits are putting a lot of saturated fats, a lot of cholesterol, and a lot of other such things into the diet.
And in the final analysis, Jeff and Lee barely get a passing grade.
Which, at least in our health-conscious society, would put them at about a D rating.
So if you think you're eating right, think again the next time you take out your trash.
You've got alcohol, you've got pizza containers, you've got saturated fats along with low-fat items. So you've got almost a schizophrenic behavior going on.
If you think that no-fat cookie will help you lose weight, stay tuned as CNN Presents continues.
The truth is in the eating. What do you think?
CNN Presents continues now with food and health correspondent CAROLYN O'Neill.
Locust bean gum, guar gum, xanthan gum, carrageenan, artificial vanilla flavoring,
there's some really good novels in the library if you want to
glycol,
read.
caramel, and then
But you know, don't rip the package so I can't read the nutritional stuff.
It's a
She's
treat.
so excited. Look at this, going right at the cookie.
Now that's a cookie.
These women are having a food fight.
Wow.
Oh no, rice cakes.
Rice cakes.
I
have to
on our
admit
land.
that rice cakes are a nice, healthy snack if you like them. Oh, would you like to try one?
Not really.
In one corner, self-confessed junk food junkie CAROLYN Wyman. She never met a Hostess Twinkie she didn't like. In the other corner, registered dietitian Bonnie Tandy LeBlanc. Together, they've been called the Siskel and Ebert of food reviews. Their theater, the grocery store. Their opinions,
Fat is essential.
aisles apart. The pair writes a syndicated consumer column called Supermarket Sampler. We asked them to grab a shopping cart and give a thumbs up or down to the confusing array of so-called healthy foods taking over supermarket shelves. For example, what sounds like a contradiction in terms, non-fat cheese.
Wow. It sort of tastes kind of dusty.
Ooh, I would not eat this.
It tastes like something you'd find like in the corner of a room that you hadn't cleaned in a while.
Wow. This is one example of a product that they took a little too much fat out on. I think the cheese, a lot too much. All right, I'll agree here.
Low fat, no fat, reduced fat, fat-free, light, smart, healthy. The labels on the grocery store shelves blare their alleged virtues to a country consumed with getting the fat out. It can be a case of consumer overkill.
CAROLYN, you're not going to believe this. I had to stop. This is so confusing.
You must have a lot of bread, huh?
These are all the butters, margarines, and spreads from just one company, Land O'Lakes.
25 less fat than butter or margarine. And we've got Country Morning Blend, made with real butter.
Whoa, there goes another Country Morning Blend.
Another product cashing in on the low-fat craze, Nabisco's Snackwell cookies.
I've never seen anything like it in the industry. First of all, our sales this year will be $400 million. And that's enormous for the food business for a product that was introduced only 2 years ago.
The first line of reduced fat cookies from a major cookie manufacturer, Nabisco.
It's a dubious distinction at best. And this one right here.
Snackwell boasts the best-selling cookies in the country. So we put one of the line's hottest items, the fat-free Devil's Food cookie cakes, to the test.
I have to try it too?
The truth is in
the eating. What do you think?
Well, again, it's extremely sugary.
It's very dry.
It's dry inside.
I would not stop a truck for these.
And
they are probably the only two women in America who wouldn't.
Hello, Cookie Man. What's in the box?
Nabisco can't pop enough cookies out of the oven to keep up with the demand. Part of the problem, it takes 4 hours and 19 minutes to make a single cookie. And all Devil's Food Snackwells are made at just one plant, hidden away in a remote corner of South Dakota. We traveled there in search of the Cookie Man. And this is where that Cookie Man works. It's sort of the Fort Knox of cookie factories. We can't get in. Nabisco won't let us show you how they make the Devil's Food cookie cakes because that's top secret. But one thing we can tell you, they're soon to be making a whole lot more because this factory is tripling its capacity to keep up with America's appetite for goodies without the guilt. We did manage to make it as far as the front office, where we found out something surprising. The fat-free cookies can make you fat. That admission came from one of the cookie tasters.
No, you have to actually taste them. You have to, that's part of the job. That's why I'm, kind of
Wait a minute, they're supposed to be fat-free.
Well, they are, but you're still going to gain weight because of the carbohydrates.
We got kicked out right after that.
How did they get here?
With all the products that claim to be free of fat, how can you be sure their claims are free of lies?
Fantastic. I told you. How good is this? It's good. How good? Very good. I know it.
They put real blueberries in it. Real blueberries. What kind did you get?
Coffee. And they grind up the coffee beans and put it in.
Let me taste that.
Huh? Huh?
Que rico.
Suave. And it's non-fat.
How could this not have any fat? It's too good.
Good question, George. Seinfeld and the gang put it to the test, and so did we.
What kind of non-fat muffins do you have?
Today we have, we've got blueberry, strawberry,
Carrot, pineapple, banana, oat bran.
The Belgian chocolate, so what else can you ask?
Sounds wonderful.
We browsed the sweeteries of Los Angeles for desserts that claimed to be low in fat. A private laboratory then analyzed our bag full of treats to see if their labels were playing any tricks. The results? There is truth in advertising. The desserts were all low in fat, but they were also high in calories. For example, one fat-free brownie bought at Cafe Dolce had more than 650 calories, about a third of the recommended calories for an average woman in a day.
Could I have a peach non-fat and the Tutti Frutti non-fat?
Our Tutti Frutti muffin from Monty's weighed in at more than 500 calories. And because of the number of calories, the fat trim from these desserts could very well end up on your thighs. And there's the rub. Fat-free does not mean you'll be.
That's wonderful. And see, I think food should be enjoyed, and I think people are eating too much low-fat food, you know, feeling virtuous, eating twice as much or 3 times as much as they may do if they had something that was satisfying in a small amount.
Well, I can't argue with you there.
So we agree?
Mm-hmm.
Which would you take a bowl?
Coming up on CNN Presents, the food police are watching you. CNN Presents continues now with Food to Die For. Once again, here's food and health correspondent CAROLYN O'Neill.
Tonight will be pasta with spaghetti, mushrooms, and tomatoes.
He has been called a nutrition Nazi,
I just feel better when I eat better foods.
the Ayatollah of food,
The average person is eating a diet that very likely will lead to cancer, heart disease, high blood pressure.
a culinary killjoy.
Kids aren't learning how to cook, and we're becoming so reliant on processed foods.
Michael Jacobson heads the Center for Science in the Public Interest. And he is a force to be reckoned with.
Consumers can greatly reduce their risk of diet-related diseases by choosing foods low in fat, cholesterol, sodium and sugar, and high in dietary fiber.
His nonprofit group has held a smorgasbord of high-profile news conferences to expose the fat in popular foods.
Consumers should choose foods with less than 5% of the daily value for those problem nutrients, the saturated fat, cholesterol, or sodium.
In Italian food, Chinese food, movie popcorn, Mexican food, and finally, fried seafood.
Foods we're eating are high in fat, high in sodium, high in cholesterol, low in fiber. That's a prescription for disease, and we're getting that disease.
Basically, I think the Center for Science in the Public Interest practices what I call food terrorism. They're constantly scaring us about the food we eat.
Elizabeth Whalen, president of the American Council on Science and Health, says CSPI mixes inaccurate information with catchy one-liners.
I think in the most recent cuisine scares that CSPI has been involved in, they have lost all their credibility. When they're telling us that we shouldn't eat Mexican food, Italian, Chinese, and down the line, people have said enough already.
If you look at who bankrolls Elizabeth Whalen, you'll understand why she says what she says. It's the food and chemical industries that are financing her in large part. This is Dole 100% juice, country raspberry. And one would naively think that raspberry is the main ingredient. To me, this is deceptive. Somebody should be telling the public about what's in the food. The restaurants aren't telling the public, so we said, okay, let's do it. We focused on Red Lobster in particular for the way they fry foods and hydrogenated shortening. Have we had any reaction from them?
I haven't heard anything directly from Red Lobster.
Not surprisingly, talk like this hasn't endeared restaurateurs. Jeff Prince is president of the National Restaurant Association.
What we've seen is a greater cynicism, a greater discomfort about food, a greater fear of food, but no change in behavior and no change in what people are asking for. They're not educating people, they're annoying people.
Jacobson disagrees.
And the public is using the information, and that's very exciting to see. And it's exciting to see movie theaters, small restaurants, big restaurant chains, changing the way they make their foods.
Salad.
Yeah, it's like salad. It's called spinach.
Jacobson's 2-year-old daughter Sonia is on her father's side, for now.
Rice cake.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed that she's going to continue to eat healthy foods. But I'll tell you what impresses me. How susceptible she is to outside influences, how much she trusts outside influences. And when television commercials start saying, eat this or eat that, little kids are so impressed, and it is so unfair to the kids and to the parents. The ads never say, this is part of a bad diet.
A mushroom.
Wasn't that funny? She didn't know what it was.
Looks like fruit's going to be a popular selection for our healthy snacks.
Sycamore Hills Elementary School in Independence, Missouri is trying to teach students about good diets.
Now, we've been talking all week about some good, healthy snack selections.
The whole purpose of this is we're trying to cut down on fats, so you might want to include how many fat grams it has.
6th graders on a nutrition committee help decide what vegetable to feature in the cafeteria, renamed the Nutrition Center.
Sweet potato. Yeah.
Sweet potatoes and
Cauliflower.
cauliflower,
Zucchini.
zucchini. A lot of good ideas.
Down the hall, 4th graders cut healthy snacks from magazines.
Oh, doesn't that bagel look good? Wow. So far on our chart, we have peanut butter and jelly, chocolate ice cream, tongue splashers, troll snacks, and yellow popcorn.
And 2nd graders learn about the gobs of fat lurking in some of their favorite foods. One boy makes the mistake of saying he likes chocolate ice cream with chocolate syrup.
You're in for a real treat. Let me see. I think I have to give him one more. But you said you like chocolate ice cream with chocolate. No, this is what you said. I'm only doing what you said. That plate's getting heavy. Do you like a lot of chocolate syrup or a little? Be honest. A lot or little? Oh, he likes a lot, I can tell.
The motto at Sycamore Hills, be bright, eat right.
The health and well-being of the child is just as important as teaching them to read and to write. Keep the line moving, okay? That's it.
Sycamore Hills principal Al Van Eyden is a man on a mission.
Are you going to eat everything?
Yes.
Are you good? You like honeydew melon?
Yes.
Well, you're going to have that and peaches?
Yes.
Green beans?
Yes. Kind of. Yeah.
Well, they're good for you too, you know.
And it's not just about the food. The changes here at Sycamore Hills School go way beyond what's on the tray or what was on the tray. There's a bigger plan here to get children to focus on nutrition and fitness, not just at lunchtime, but all of the time.
I believe that the best way to reach a family and to get a family to make changes is through the child. Children have a tendency to be able to put a lot of pressure on their parents to do things.
One 6th grader says he has advice for his parents at the supermarket.
Buy more fruits instead of like just potato chips and junk food and like all the regular stuff, like all the sugar cereals.
It's made me realize it's better to stick just to the healthy things and stuff.
But not all the food in the Nutrition Center is nutritious. You were in the nutrition meeting this morning. What did you bring for lunch today? What did you have for lunch?
M&M's, chips, and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
So what kind of a grade would you give yourself for that lunch?
F, probably.
An F? But you obviously like these kind of foods.
Well, they're not healthy, but they're good to have sometimes. Other people are getting the message. Maybe I haven't got it quite yet, but...
CNN Presents continues now with Food to Die For. Once again, here's food and health correspondent CAROLYN O'Neill.
Marinated shiitake mushrooms, some little red currant tomatoes. These are pea shoots right here.
Guess who's singing the praises of a low-fat diet?
Gina, do we have any non-fat chips here? Very light, delicate crepe. Take like 20 pounds of onions. Here's some sunflower sprouts.
The poster boys for tie-dyed t-shirts, earth shoes, and recreational drugs.
I need a number 12, a corn crepes filled with shiitake and pea sprouts for Bob Weir.
The Grateful Dead.
You don't bounce back as quick as you used to when you're younger, so I got to take a little better care of myself these days.
Guitarist Bob Weir.
You know, it's quieted my mind a little bit, which is good, and it's made me feel healthier, a little more lively, I guess. And I think it makes me smarter.
Grateful Dead father figure Jerry Garcia also got smart after suffering from exhaustion. Too many cigarettes, a bad diet, lack of exercise, and the rigors of a 30-year road trip.
It's a life and death thing for him, and it changed his life. I mean, he's lost over 60 pounds since he's been on this diet. He exercises every single day.
Got an order for Jerry. He wants the number 9 chickpea sandwich with sauteed onions and mushrooms.
Jerry's just become a really fun-loving, happy man since he's gone to a healthy lifestyle. It's a little bit of ginger liqueur.
Gene Keenan is the band's personal chef, a responsibility he takes very seriously.
Food is it's an energy thing. When you're putting energy into producing this product, and when people eat that food, they're eating the energy that was put into producing that food. And so when you're eating food that's produced commercially, it's soulless. And so you become soulless. You become what you eat.
Billy wants a chicken sandwich on whole wheat.
I don't need to eat a lot of fat. I know that's a really important thing. The older you get, you just don't need to put fat in your body. And I know.
Drummer for the Dead, Bill Krutzman, is part of a generation of geezer rockers, all pushing 50.
I welcome being alive today. It's great. You know? I feel good about being alive.
These things just got to be done.
When CNN Presents continues, they're fat, they're proud, and they're fighting back. CNN Presents, a weekly news magazine, continues now with Food to Die For. Here again is Judy Woodruff.
Thin may be in, but the pressure to look like the latest waif of the month is pushing some of us over the line. The waistline, that is. The Food Marketing Institute recently questioned 1,000 shoppers on their attitudes about food and health. The group's findings: most Americans are tired and confused by experts telling them what to eat and what not to. So, more and more of us are lashing back and saying we'll eat what we want, when we want, and as much as we want. Once again, here's CAROLYN O'Neill.
You want it calmer? No, I don't feel calm, and I'm wearing very, very, very outrageous clothing. Okay, well, if you're I'm on my way. I'm going. I can't run people over.
I'm looking for a green dress I'm supposed to wear.
So you just work with it, swing it.
We're gonna start at 10 to 5. I hear talking.
I forgot all my bras and underwear in the wash.
Are the first and second seams dressed?
The real key here is to remain calm.